When performing static calibrations, flat and level floor is extremely important to perform a correct calibration. So Josh, what does flat and level mean?
You know, I don't know why this is a conversation that seems to require so much explanation, but it does. And I mean, they seem like simple words, flat and level. So let's pretend for a moment that this work surface in front of us is flat. Set aside level for a moment, but let's just deal with flat. So flat has to do with, imagine a plane, right, in between the vehicle and the target. You want them to be on the same plane. And the reason that's important is you're going to take measurements to affect the target height out in front of the vehicle. Those measurements are meant to square that target up or align that target with the vehicle. If there are differences in height that you're working from, the work surface, the floor, then that's going to affect your target setup, and you're going to do it incorrectly, okay? Then you have level. So now level has to do with, are there floor drains? Are there a slope to that floor? And the different OEs have different positions on what that needs to look like. And so you just need to make sure that you've got something that meets those requirements. Ultimately, where that starts to come in, you know, just as a visual representation, right? So you've got your vehicle over here, you've got your target here, and maybe there's a floor drain in between. And now what you've got is you've got a target that is actually starting to look down at the floor in front of the vehicle. And I'm exaggerating that a bit, but you get the idea that it's no longer squaring that target up with the vehicle. And so that's why flat and level is important.
Well, and you brought up floor drains, you know, and I hear that some calibrations are being done outside in the parking lot, and that blows my mind because parking lots are not level. Parking lots are meant to shed water, be slanted away, just like indoor drains, right? The concrete is going to be sloping towards the drain. So if you see a drain, most likely you don't have a level concrete floor.
That's right.
So you want to make sure that when you're establishing your environment, that you're creating something that is consistent, so you're using the same space and you're making sure that it is flat and level. By doing so, you want to make sure that you're measuring the space, right? You want to make sure you're measuring from one side of the space to the other and making sure that that variance in millimeters is abiding by the OEM procedures, because several OEMs have different standards for what flat and level is.
That's right.
And so if you don't have that standard, you want to make sure that you're sending it to somebody that does have the correct standard.
Sounds right to me.
If you found today's tip helpful, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. Comment below for any future suggestions.
These videos are made possible by SCRS. If you aren't currently a member, I encourage you to join. Visit scrs.com or use the link in the description below.